The underwater time capsule. The screen fades up from black to the sound of bubbles and muffled underwater sounds. A narrator's voice cuts through the darkness. Some mysteries aren't meant to stay buried. Sometimes they're meant to sink. Underwater footage appears showing murky green water with diving lights cutting through the darkness. On March 15, 2003, the Morrison family vanished without a trace. Robert Morrison, age 42, his wife, Linda, 39, their children, Emma, 14, and Michael, 8. They left Denver, Colorado on what should have been a simple road trip to visit Linda's parents in Phoenix, Arizona. Photos of the family appear on screen, smiling faces, a normal American family. They never arrived. For 17 years, their disappearance remained one of the Southwest's most baffling missing persons cases, until 3 divers made a discovery that would change everything we thought we knew about that day. Grainy news footage from 2003 plays as an anchor reports that authorities are searching for a family of 4 who failed to arrive at their destination 3 days ago. The Morrison family left their home in Denver on March 12, 2003 at approximately 9 a.m. They were driving a dark blue 2001 Toyota 4Runner. Robert Morrison called Linda's parents that evening to say they were running late and would arrive the following day. Detective Sarah Chen, the former lead investigator, sits in her office with case files visible in the background. That phone call was made at 6:47 p.m. from a gas station in Pueblo, Colorado, she explains. Robert sounded normal. Nothing seemed off. He said they'd stopped for dinner and the kids wanted to see some roadside attraction the next morning, so they'd arrive by lunch on the 13th instead. But they never made that second call. By March 15th, Linda's parents contacted police. A map animation shows the route from Denver to Phoenix with markers. We tracked their credit card usage, Detective Chen continues. Last charge was at that gas station in Pueblo. After that, nothing. No ATM withdrawals, no credit cards, no phone calls. It's like they drove off the face of the earth. Photos show massive search efforts with search dogs and volunteers combing hundreds of miles of highway. Helicopters searched the desert. Nothing. The 4Runner, the family, their luggage, all vanished. Margaret Torres, Linda's mother, sits in her living room with photos of the family behind her. Her voice breaks as she speaks. Linda would never just disappear. She called me every day, every single day. Something happened to them. I knew it then, and I know it now. Detective Chen explains that over the years they investigated everything: foul play, voluntary disappearance, witness protection. They had theories about Robert's work, since he was an accountant for several large firms. Maybe he saw something he shouldn't have. But they never found evidence of anything. The case went cold. Years passed. The Morrison family became another statistic, another unsolved mystery. Until 2020. Drone footage sweeps over a mountain lake, beautiful and serene. Echo Lake, a remote reservoir in southern Colorado, about 80 miles off the main highway between Denver and Phoenix. In the summer of 2020, 3 experienced divers arrived here for what they thought would be a routine recreational dive. Marcus Reeves, a bearded man in his 40s, sits near diving equipment. Echo Lake isn't well known, he says. It's deep, cold, and the visibility can be terrible, but that's what makes it interesting for experienced divers. They'd heard rumors about old mining equipment down there from the 1950s. Underwater footage shows dark, murky water, as Marcus explains that he, along with fellow divers Jennifer Park and David Wilson, descended to approximately 90 feet. We were following the old mining road, he continues. Yeah, there's an actual road down there from before they flooded the valley. And then Jennifer's light caught something. At first, we thought it was a rock formation, but rocks don't have windows. Jennifer Park, an Asian woman in her 30s with a serious expression, describes how her heart stopped.
There was a vehicle down there, a blue SUV, sitting upright on the old road like someone just parked it and walked away, except we were 90 feet underwater. Dramatic underwater footage shows the Forerunner covered with algae and sediment. The divers surfaced and immediately contacted authorities. Within 48 hours, a recovery team was deployed. When they ran the license plates, they got a hit that sent shockwaves through law enforcement. Detective Chen recalls getting the call at home. They'd found the Morrison family's Forerunner. After 17 years, they finally knew where they'd gone. But that's when the real mystery began. Recovery footage shows authorities, divers, and equipment. The recovery took 3 days. What they found inside the vehicle was disturbing. The car was locked from the inside, Detective Chen explains. All the windows were up. The bodies of Robert, Linda, Emma, and Michael were still in their seats, preserved by the cold water and depth. But here's what didn't make sense. There was no sign of struggle, no injuries, and the car, it was too far from any road. A map animation shows Echo Lake's location, far from the main highway. Echo Lake was nowhere near the Morrisons' planned route. To get there, they would have had to deliberately turn off the highway, drive 40 miles on progressively rougher roads, and navigate to a specific remote location. Marcus explains that when they went back down after the recovery, they found tire tracks on that underwater road. They drove down there. The lake didn't flood suddenly. It's been at the same level since 1962. They drove to that exact spot and just went in. Evidence photos appear on screen showing items from the vehicle. When investigators examined the contents of the Forerunner, they found the family's luggage exactly as it should have been for a road trip. Clothes, toiletries, Emma's diary, Michael's handheld video games. But they also found something else. In the glove compartment, sealed in a waterproof document bag, Detective Chen revealed, they found a letter written by Robert Morrison, dated March 13, 2003, the day after they were last seen. After a dramatic pause, the narrator explains that the letter has never been released to the public, but through confidential sources and freedom of information requests, they've learned what it contained. Text appears on screen in Robert's handwriting style as the narrator reads, "To whoever finds this, what we're doing isn't madness, though I know it will look that way. We made a choice, all of us. Even the kids understand, though I wish they didn't have to. Yesterday, we saw something we weren't supposed to see. We stopped at a rest area off Highway 25, just before sunset. Linda needed to use the restroom. That's when we saw them." The tension builds as the narrator continues. 3 men, a van, and a girl, maybe 13, bound and gagged in the back. They saw us. They saw Emma taking photos of the sunset, photos that accidentally captured them. We got back in the car. We drove. They followed. Detective Chen confirmed they investigated this. In March 2003, there were reports of a trafficking ring operating in Colorado and New Mexico. 3 men were eventually arrested in 2005, but they were never connected to the Morrison case because investigators didn't know what the family had seen. The narrator continues reading Robert's letter. "We've been driving for hours. They're still behind us. We tried calling the police twice. No signal in these mountains. We tried flagging down other cars. There are none. Linda found this reservoir on an old map. She suggested it. I thought she was crazy, but then I understood. If they catch us, they'll kill us anyway. All of us. They can't leave witnesses, not after what Emma photographed." Dr. Rachel Torres, a criminal psychologist, explains that what the Morrisons faced is called a no-win scenario. They believed, perhaps correctly, that they were being hunted by people who would kill them to protect their operation. Running would only delay the inevitable, so they made an impossible choice. The narrator continues with Robert's letter. "We've driven to the lake. We're going to wait until dark, and then we're going to drive in, together. It will be fast, peaceful, better than what those men would do to us. Better than being separated. We stay together. We end this on our terms. After a moment of silence to let this sink in, the narrator explains that the letter continued with final messages to loved ones, apologies, explanations, a description of the van, the men, and the location of the rest stop. Detective Chen revealed that when they cross-referenced Robert's description with the trafficking arrests from 2005, there were matches. The van matched, the description of one of the men matched. And here's the thing. In 2004, there was an unsolved murder of a witness in a trafficking case, someone who saw too much. An evidence photo shows the old rest stop that Robert mentioned. It's abandoned now, closed in 2007. But in 2003, it was a known location where the trafficking ring